If only I was as good at baking a cake as I was at baking my face. But I'm no baker. No baker. Ow! Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Kendra Cole here. The first thing I wanted to make sure that I told you guys about was my awesome theme song music. I know I used it in my last video, but I didn't actually talk about it. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up about my new music. I'm super excited about it. I have a very, very talented family. And so when I started this channel, my family was so overly supportive of everything I was doing and wanted to help out the best they could. And so my brother Aaron, who is an incredible musician, he can play lots of different instruments, but when I said, oh yeah, I'm going to start my own channel, he's like, well, I'd write you a theme song if you want one. And I'm like, let's go. I said, let's do it. That sounds great. So here I am with my new theme song music, which is super fun, and it's mine. Well, really Aaron's, but it's fine. It's for my channel. No one else can use it, and I just think that's super, super cool. So I just wanted to first off explain my awesome theme song, and then also say, thanks, Aaron, you're so talented, because my baby brother is pretty awesome. So I've always been his #1 fan, and so now it's just I get to benefit off of his music. So anyway. Also, I know I look slightly weird because I have my eyeshadow done, but no mascara. So let's get into a little bit about what this video is about today. Over the past years of doing makeup, one question I get all the time is, what is baking? Now, I'm not talking about baking a cake. I'm not talking about baking cookies. I tried to do that this week with Emery we did a little Valentine's Day jam together. It was so fun. Casey had to work. So, I was like, oh, let's just do something you and me, little girl. And we did, and we baked some cookies, and they turned out hard as rock. So, not a baker, but this is different than that. This is baking our face. And it's not really hard to bake your face, but I think the other part of this is that baking your face without making it look cakey. I think that makes it a lot more complicated than just putting powder all over your face. You want to do your best so that it doesn't look like you just put powder all over your face for the rest of the day. First, let me talk about some of the benefits of baking. So when it comes to baking, the reason that it's become such a popular thing. Now, I will say the Instagram makeup's kind of going out, the natural makeup's kind of coming in, which is awesome, super cool. But the only reason that baking could still be super great for you is, one, it can be very brightening. So if you tend to struggle with darker skin in certain areas, especially under the eyes, if you're struggling with some blue spots, or if you're covering up acne scarring, those kind of things that can really brighten up your face. So that's one reason that baking your face is really helpful. And the other reason a lot of people tend to do it, especially celebrities or famous people who do their makeup, is because it helps your makeup last significantly longer. So if I were to just put foundation all over my face and just a basic little powder, it will work for a few hours. And that's why sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. I'll just, do a little bit of powder and call it a day. It does look a lot more natural. But if I'm going to work all day and have a meeting after work, and then I have to, for whatever reason, I'm having a marathon of a day, which tends to be my life. So for me, it was very important to me to learn to bake because it really has helped my skin last a lot longer. Also, if you're somebody who, wearing a mask, obviously when we're at work, a lot of people don't even have to do their makeup from here down. And if that's your jam, then awesome, great. It means you're saving on foundation and powder. But if you're like me, that I have to be on screen a lot, so I go from having a mask on to taking my mask off, having my mask on, taking my mask off, because I'm in and out of in-person meetings and online meetings with my job, I have to make sure that my makeup's going to last with a mask on, because nothing looks worse in a Zoom meeting than coming off and my whole area right here is just completely rubbed off. Of course, are people understanding? Yeah, of course. But for me, I'm like, I want to make sure I am doing everything I can do to help with my mask lines. Who knew that was going to be a problem here in 2021? Yet, here we are. So that's another reason baking might be really helpful for you if you find yourself being a very oily person where your makeup breaks down easily, or if you find yourself just needing your makeup to last for more than 5-6 hours. This can also be beneficial for you. So that's why I was like, well, let's go for it. Why not do a video just specifically on baking? So really, for the most part, I have my entire face and most of my eyes done. I don't like to do my mascara before I bake just because powder will get in my mascara. So that's why I look a little weird without my mascara on. So I apologize. So this is with my eyeshadow mostly done. I haven't done my under eyes either. I have done all my cream contour and cream bronzer. I haven't done any cream blush here, but that's okay. I'll just sit here and do that while we're chit-chatting. Now mostly my skin is finished and I just have all of my powders left. So that includes my bronzer, blush, all that powder. So I'm going to kind of get started. Right before I apply my powder, I am going to go in with my beauty blender and just make sure all of my creases are out. But before I get into that, I do want to talk about the product I'm going to use today. Again, Black History Month. I just think it's super important to just be supporting our Black-owned businesses and giving them, you know, a little bit of a highlight that they may not get the rest of the year. And I'm so excited about this one because first off, I've heard so much about it and I've actually never gotten to use one of their products. So I thought that was really cool. It's my chance to really get to experiment and play with a product I've never used. And second, they are so stinking cute. When you go online and look up this brand and see some of the stuff they do for their products, their packaging is just next level. It is incredible. So today I'm going to be using for my setting powder a brand called Beauty Bakerie. Just wait until you see this packaging. Look. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? It says Beauty Bakerie, better not bitter around the line here. And then it says flour, it's backwards too, sorry. And then it's setting powder. And so you get 14 grams or 0.5 ounces. And so I did get the smaller one just because I just wanted to try them out. So this bag is just absolutely beautiful. So another thing that setting powder can do, not all setting powders are meant to do this, but this one specifically says to blur your pores, prevent creasing or transferring, and indulge in our flower setting powder. It has quickly become a global favorite. So some powders will really help you if you have really exaggerated pores. Usually if you have really exaggerated pores, it probably means in that area you are more than likely oily. So usually our pores open up when we're more oily, and your skin, like my forehead, which is very dry, I don't have a pore in sight. So that's another good way of telling whether you're oily in certain areas or dry in certain areas. But for some of you, you don't have to look at your pores. You can just know, right? So anyway, this one also will blur your pores, which for me, especially in my cheek area, which is really where I'm putting my setting powder, that's super, super important. So I'm gonna open her up here. I just cannot get over this packaging. It is, look, it just looks like a little flower. Oh, look at it. Oh, that is so cute. It has little nutritionist facts on the side. It says 1 sweetie per serving. And it says vegan 100%, calorie 0, gluten 0. It says, and it has everything also in French. So everything is in English and then repeated in French. And it says lightweight, yes, oui. Meaning we, like yes in French. But sorry, too much TikTok. Oui. no, sorry. Mattifying, yes. Flashback, nah. Yeah, that's cute. So that is just absolutely adorable. I am just obsessed. And I was this close to buying their beauty blenders. Their beauty blenders, if you look them up online, they take it's an egg carton and that's their packaging. They put 6 little beauty blenders in an egg carton, and that's how they ship it to you. So stinking cute. So it's all bakery. Again, they're called Beauty Bakerie. So it's all bakery inspired. And so let's go ahead and get her out of the package. I've seen her online, but again, never in person. I'm keeping that packaging. That is so cute. So here is our Better Not Bitter Beauty Bakerie, and it's called Flower is what they're calling this, which is so cute. And it has little like grains of wheat on the side. It's kind of it's definitely a bronzy gold color. You can kind of see compared to my gold stuff, maybe a little bit darker of a tone than those, but a little more bronzy than gold. So cute. I'm trying to remember, yes, I got there were different colors. Obviously, I got the translucent, but they called it oat. So I'm going to go ahead and open her up, get her black lid on the inside. I'm so excited about this. So it doesn't smell like anything, which I'm all about. I'm always about my stuff not having any scent. But I don't know if maybe as I go, if I will. So I'm gonna put the lid back on just because I like to shake mine out a little bit before. Okay, so that's the setting powder we're going to use today. So it's a setting powder I have not used yet, so I'm not 100% sure how long lasting it will be. I've heard that it's incredible. Like, I've heard so many YouTubers talking about it, so I have a feeling it will last a long time. But again, just depending on your skin, some things work for some people that don't work for you, which is why makeup is a wild world, right? What works for me and what I might love may not be your favorite, because we all have different skin types. So but I really just wanted to take a moment and feature another Black-owned business who is doing just an incredible job in the packaging game, incredible ingredients and products. So I just really wanted to feature them during February. So my goal is every video to feature some kind of Black-owned business. So I have my next few kind of lined up, but then we'll see about the rest. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I said, is tap out any creases I might have just with my wet beauty blender. I'm also going to use this to help me with a little bit of contouring. This may not be important to you, totally fine. I'm just going to show you what I do, but not everyone may need this. So the first thing, this is huge for me, this is what I've noticed helps me not crease so much, is I start with a foundation powder, so a really tightly packed pressed powder. And that's what I start with, at least under my eyes and around my nose. By far, the area for me that breaks down the most, pre-mask and especially currently mask, is my nose. That's always the area that I find breaks down the most. So this is the Covergirl Advanced Radiance. It's a brightening powder, so it should help brighten anyway. But I always put this as kind of my first layer. I find that this helps it not look so cakey. So in some of my smile areas, my nose, some of this area that I tend to look more cakey later on in the day because the product starts to gather there as I'm smiling and, you know, I'm starting to crease. So I just find starting with a powder like this helps the setting powder not settle in those creases so much, personally. And I'm a big smiler. I'm very, lots of expression. So I tend to need to focus on that a lot when I am doing my makeup. So once I kind of have that set in place, I'm going to open up my setting powder If you have a beauty puff, something like this, this is a nice little thing that you can use if you would like. I personally am going to use my wet beauty blender. I'm just curious. It's really, it doesn't smell like anything. That's really fun. So it literally looks just like powder. Or like flour. That is crazy. So I'm curious how that's gonna look for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna dip my wet sponge into my powder, and I'm gonna go towards my inner eye and out. And it's okay if you use a lot. We're gonna wipe it all away. So I'm gonna get the side of my nose, my under eye, and I'm gonna even bring it into that crease line. So the big thing is you wanna make sure you don't tap it all the way in. That's the surest way to get you to look really cakey. So your skin's going to absorb some of this, it really is. But the more if you just tap it in, suddenly you are going to start looking really creasy and really cakey because it's trying to get all of that powder and it's not gonna take it. And then I'm also gonna go, because I am using this for brightening as well, I'm gonna go right down the center of my nose because I did do some contouring today. I just thought it would be fun since I was doing a baking video. And I'm also going to bring it around this area of my face. This just really helps to chisel that contour if you're a contour gal. If you're not, then you don't necessarily have to do this side. Or if you notice like you just want some brightening in this area, I'm going right underneath my contour bronzing line and I'm gonna do that. And I'm just gonna do an itty bitty bit up here. I'm not gonna go super crazy because this is definitely my driest area. My forehead is by far, I look crazy. My forehead's definitely my driest area. Yes, that definitely went on like butter. I love that it doesn't smell like anything. That's super fun. Again, I'm not, especially when it comes to my powder, it doesn't bother me as long as it goes away. If it sticks with me all day, I'm like, ooh. But personally, I just really like when I don't have something sticking around with me all day, or sometimes because I do feel like sometimes my setting powder is the most likely for me to sniff in, because from here I would sometimes go and do my brows or do my eyeshadow. All of that's kind of done right now, so I'm not going to necessarily worry about any of that, but sometimes the setting powder is really what I end up getting stuck in my nose. So I love that it's unscented. That's really, so anyway, that's the application of this Beauty Bakerie Oat Translucent Powder. It looks really pretty so far. So I'm gonna let this sit a moment. I will be right back to you how to wipe off the powder. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and so about time for me. Again, I like to let my powder sit for a little while. You don't. The longer you let it sit, the brighter it gets, but you do risk, if you let it sit on for 5 hours, it's gonna start looking cakey. I'm going to reapply some moisture here in a moment just to help with the dryness of the powder. If you let it sit too long, your skin will start to freak out. So, but I've let mine sit for half an hour before doing my eye makeup. It's not a huge deal. So I'm gonna take my tapered Morphe brush, I believe this is my Morphe brush, and I'm just gonna very carefully start to wipe off my nose and my under eye area. Oh, just tuck that into my bronzer. It's expensive bronzer. And then I'm also gonna take, this is my Profusion one I got from TJ Maxx that I just love, but it's really fluffy, big floofy. I'm gonna use that and kind of rub it in a little bit. So I'm gonna dust off a little bit of it and then try to rub the rest of it in. Same with up here. And then I will kind of use this to rub this in too. Oh, that looks so pretty. So I'm gonna zoom you in here so so you can really just see my skin and just how flawless it looks. Like my pores pretty much disappear. It looks really pretty. Oh, I love it. Right now, it might look a little cakey. When I use my last little setting powder, it will look a lot less cakey, but that's my skin. Now I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and hop back on here in a minute and show you guys the finished product. So welcome back. This is the rest of the skin and eyes finished. So there's really just one more step that I wanted to talk through with you. Setting my face. What in the world is that? I'm actually going to use 2 different products today to do this because they do 2 different jobs. I'm going to start with my Pixi Milky Mist. This is something that if you have dry skin, this is a must. It is so good, at least drugstore wise. There might be some more luxury brands or Sephora brands that are also super hydrating as well. But this girl is just my ride or die. I love her so much. That's why I bought the big one instead of like a smaller one. They have a smaller one as well. But I have super dry skin and this girl helps me so much. And even if you're setting your face and you tend to be a little oily, if you use a product like this, it's gonna help it not look cakey at all. This helps your powder to sink into your skin in the most beautiful way. You can just use this before your makeup as well if you want an extra layer of moisture. I do that sometimes too. It has hyaluronic acid and it has other vitamins. It has glycerin, so it's just a very hydrating formula that I just think does such a great job with either prepping your skin or setting your skin. However, this is not necessarily a setting spray. For me, it's more of it's called a soothing mist is what it's called. Skincare product, but for me, I just think it does such a good job of helping my makeup blend in and just sink into my skin a little bit better. So, however, I do have my Maybelline Lasting Fix. To me, this is a little bit of a dupe for Urban Decay All Nighter, if that's a product you really like and you either just need something really quick to take its place till you can go get another one, or if you just can't afford it, it's a really good dupe for the drugstore. However, it's really drying just like All Nighter. So even for me, even if I have Urban Decay All Nighter, I still like to use this first. So I'm gonna go in with this. And I'm gonna just dry it out. So with this one, I sometimes like to do it before I put my mascara on. I just didn't want to like start and stop because it kind of will make your mascara bleed a little bit if you just did it. So for me, I either wait until my mascara is really dry before I do it, or I do it before I put my mascara on. So once that kind of sets into your skin, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Lasting Fix. Definitely has a much stronger mist. This one just has the most beautiful mist. It just doesn't even feel like, it's just, it falls over your face really beautifully. This one, again, it is cheaper than like the Urban Decay, so it has a little bit more of a attack on you. So this is my skin, all finished up close and personal. Again, my friends, I have very scarred skin. I have very large pores, and it's not even like I have crazy lighting or crazy camera. I'm literally using my iPhone. So what you see is literally my skin in the most unprofessional lens you can find. So this is kind of what it looks like at the end of the day. My lip product I'm going to talk about another time because it's amazing. So this is my makeup all finished, all done. I just wanted to take one more minute to say I hope you got something out of this makeup look. Again, baking might not be something you do every single day. I respect that. This might just be, hey, I'm going to a wedding and the ceremony is at this time and the reception lasts till this time and I'm going to have pictures taken of me. It could be for a wedding look, it could be for some kind of dance if you're going to prom or homecoming and you know you're going to be dancing and just want your makeup to stay. This could be for pictures. Again, that's kind of what on the Beauty Bakerie it said no flashback. So basically, this is a powder that if you have a camera on you that has a flash, sometimes really, really brightening powders can make it look like you're super light and way too brightened, like flashback on your skin. So a makeup setting powder like this is going to help really mattify your skin for photographs. So, but you just want to make sure if you use a setting powder that it's not one that has any kind of sparkle in it, because that might make the flashback of a camera a little bit more significant. So whatever reason you might want to use this makeup, or again, if you're someone like me who you go in and out of in-person and online meetings, this might be something that is just really helpful for you right now when we're wearing masks. Whatever the case may be, I hope you can take this and use it for whatever reason you needed to use it. I did want to just one more shout out to Beauty Bakerie. I'm so excited I got to use this. It was so fun. I can't wait to continue to use it. Oh, look at my under eye. It looks so freaking good. Oh, I love it. So I can't wait to use more of their products. For our next video, we'll talk about some more Black-owned businesses that you might want to help support during this February Black History Month. And with that, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you find something that makes you smile. And I can't wait to see you back here soon. Bye. Insert Erin's awesome theme music. There's no drums, sorry.